Hello and welcome to day 2, project 2 of our 2024 Christmas in July online extravaganza with Venetia Ramsey from Scrapworx. Like I said, we're going to start with project number 2. I am going to continue working with our About a Boy collection and we are going to create a double page layout. Right, so before we begin, I want to create my mixed media background. So I've already done the one side so you could see what we are doing. And then I'll show you how to do it on the other side. So I want to create a background that looks something like that. This is just me cleaning off the stencil. We're going to cover that up. Don't worry about that. So I'm going to work with this stencil from Tim Holtz. It's THS 058. You're going to need a stencil brush. I have some speckled egg distress oxide. And I'm going to use some uncharted mariner, and then to add my splatters I'm going to use my scorched timber watercolor pencil. So to do that you'll need a paintbrush. Okay, so what we're going to start off with is to create the numbers all the way around. And again, I know that I have pattern paper coming in all over here, so I only have to do about 5 centimeters all the way around. So to do this, you're going to need a blending tool with a blending foam and your speckled egg distress oxide. Okay, and then I just want to line my papers up to make sure that I've got it the right way. Yes, I have, because sometimes one side is bigger than the other. Right, so I'm just going to load up my blending tool with some speckled egg. I'm not worried about getting it on like getting a perfect blend. I just want to get some ink onto the page. Just want to get a nice layer of speckled egg on my page. Because I know I'm going to stencil over it, I'm not too worried about blending it out perfectly. The idea really is just to get some ink at the bottom, so when I add the stenciling on top, it's not plain white. I just want to soften up the white a bit. There we go. So again, I'm working off the page from my mat onto the page. I like to hold my finger on the blending tool. That allows me to control how much pressure I'm adding. There we go. That's, I think, is about right. Okay. Then next I'm going to take my stencil and I'm just going to stencil on, I'm just going to line it up with this one. I'm going to use my blending tool, my stencil brush, and the uncharted mariner. I'm just going to get a little bit on and then I'll move it into its place. Okay, so what's really nice about the stencil is if you line it up at the bottom, you line your pages up nicely, and you find, in my case, I'm looking for the number 2. So if I put this number 2, if I line it up with that number 2 there, because I need one that's, maybe we line up with that 9. And I've got more space. So if I put it on there like that and just add my ink, it'll look like the pattern flows from the one end to the other. And there we go. I know it looks a bit darker now, but that's because I've added water to lighten it, so we'll still do that. So I'm just gonna find my number 3 put it on and go. And then keep doing that all the way around. Just find a number on here, like I can match up that number 9. And then it starts to look like a repeating pattern. I'm adding the ink dark in areas, light in other areas. So we can pick up that number 3. Number 9. So I'm just going to keep it there and start going down the side like that, and then I can just pick it up and carry on. So I'm going to put on some music and just finish going all the way around, and I will see you in a bit. Right, and there you go. That's everything stenciled on. So what you're going to need now is some paper towel. Okay. You will need some water in a spritz bottle. Okay, so all I did was, because I want to clean my stencil, I just spritzed that. And it's also, I'm always interested to see what it's going to look like. So I always use this as a tester. And just pop that down there. Just leave that. While that's there, then I went around and added water, little spritzes all around, here and there. And then took my paper towel and just picked up all that water that we spritzed on. Right, and then this should get rid of whatever's on my stencil. And I can take the rest off. And give that a good clean in a bit. Yeah, I'll just put that off to the side for now. So by adding some water to the background, lightens up the Uncharted Mariner a little bit so that it'll match the one on the right. So if I put them together now, you can see that they're starting to, that this is drying and starting to take shape, and it looks the same as the other side. Right, and then the next thing is the splatters. So I put some water on my mat, and you can see I've still got brown on my brush from doing the other side. And I'm going to just pick up, wet my pencil and test on the mat to see if it's going to start to splatter. As soon as you can see your splatters on your mat, then you can start to add those to your background. The closer you go, I show you, nice splatters. The higher you go, the more spread out your splatters. You can add some water to get some bigger drops. You just need to play around and see what works for you. Remember, there will always be some left on your, you can go add in a little bit extra like that. I just like to just roll it to get off any excess water, and I'll put that aside to dry. Clean my brush. I'm not going to clean it 100% because I might need it again, so like that'll do for now. Right, and if I bring this page in, I can then see if I need to add more splatters to make it look the same, but it looks to me like we got it. It looks the same to me. Right, so I'm just going to take that paper towel. I've had the ink sit on here for a little bit, and I'm just going to go and blot off any excess. Now the trick here is to push down and lift. Don't push down and shift, because then your splotches are going to shift. So you want to put it down and lift. You want to work slowly. Don't get in a hurry, okay, because then again you'll shift your little splatters, and we don't want to do that. There we go. Remember, at the end we can always go in and add some more if we think it's not. You see there, I shifted. There we go. So I think that looks like it's going to work for me. All right. I'm just going to move my goodies out the way so we have some space. Right, I also have scorched timber distress oxide that I use to ink around all the pattern papers. So to create the background, we are going to work with the full pack, like I said. You are going to need the pattern papers, the following pattern papers. So I used Blue Jacket, So Much Joy, and These Moments With You. So from the page called So Much Joy, that's going to be our pattern paper number 1. You're going to cut your pattern paper to 28 centimeters. For the left side, you'll cut a piece that measures 10.5, and you'll be left with a piece that measures 20. For the page pattern paper called Blue Jacket, you're going to need a piece that measures 10 by 30.5, and that's going to go more or less over there. And then for the right side, you need a piece that measures 8 by 30.5, and that's going to go more or less over there like that. Then out of the page labeled Blue Jacket, the page labeled So Much Joy, I want to work with the back of it. I want to work with the dot side. You're going to cut this down to 25.5. For the left side, you need a piece that measures 7 centimeters. And for the right, you're going to use a piece that measures 10 centimeters. That's going to go over there. So this is probably going to come in a little bit more like that. We want to layer it like that. This one is going to lay flush against there and bring that one in a little bit, something like that. Right. You are also going to need the following size photographs. You need 3 photographs that measure 10 by 7. They are going to go down here. And 2 photographs that measure 10 by 15. They will be portrait, and they will be going over there like that. So I want to mat onto my light and my dark. I'm using white. I've inked around the edges with the Speckled Egg Distress Oxide ink to create a blue. Right, so you're going to cut 3 pieces to measure 10.5 by 7.5 out of your light, and 4 pieces, because I want to use one of these as a mat later on, 4 pieces to measure 11 by 8. Out of your light, you're going to cut 2 to measure 10.5 by 15.5 and 2 to measure 11 by 16. The 4th one that you cut from here, just keep it, we're going to use it. So that's kind of where that layout is going with that. So you're going to go through your embellishment sheet and the laser cut sheets, and we're going to pull out a few goodies to work with. So from the front cover, I need this one for here. That's where your photo mat's going to go on, the extra mat we cut out. Then I also want this little piece here, which is over there. I only want this piece. You can leave that there. All right, so there's that. From the first laser cut sheet, from this one here, okay, I need this little dude. Okay, there's he there. You will need the two little labels and these two blue labels and the word about a boy. I think that's all you need from this one. Then from the other laser cut sheet, you need these two. You will need this little dude, this guy, and this guy. There they are. Right. And so this one, this one, this one, this one. So the four little dudes, there they are. All right. And then from here, you need to cut out some of the buttons, the bigger buttons. We need these bigger ones. From this one here, I need, I don't think, I need this one, Mischief in the Making from there, and snapshots. Okay, I think that's all we need from this one. And then from the page that says moments with you, or precious moments with you, these moments with you, from this one, I want this, that's that. I need this, my memories, okay, that's that one. The little piece that says 100% boy is over there. I want the little, this you, like that. And then I want you to, this little piece I cut off of here. I cut this out here. I just wanted the number. Right, and then picture perfect. It is here somewhere as well. There's another little sentiment, picture perfect. I just cut it out. I didn't use the tabs of that. Okay, I think that's everything. And then you'll need a couple of buttons as well. Right, so that's more or less what you'll need out of the full pack to be able to put the page together. I've already inked around most of what I want inked, and I have sanded around the edges of most of the embellishments. Right, because there's so much going on in the background already, I'm going to wait, because I could still ink these, but I kind of like them sanded. Right, so we're going to create this layout. So my title is going to be this, His Little Hand Stole My Heart. I want that piece to go over here, and I want it to look like a tag. So I'm going to add a little tab to the top of it like that. Okay. And then I'm just going to add a whole lot of goodies to make it interesting. Just going to bring my tray closer. Right, so I thought that this would look nice, would complement that quite nicely. And then the little dude riding on the bicycle like that. I want to make sure that the little heart sticks out. I don't want it to be covered by the dude on his bicycle. I thought we would put that. And then, I don't know about you, but my grandson is definitely mischief in the making if I listen to the complaints from his mother. Right? Like she was never that young and she was never naughty. Right, so this little gap over here, I didn't like that, and that's why I cut this piece out and thought that that would then be a good bridge between this embellishment and that embellishment over there. So there we go. And so now we've done this. I needed to work on the other side. I need to add something here to balance that, and I really like the way this looks like that. I thought that that would look nice. And then I thought to just cluster, make a little cluster of these little dudes. You know, make your own cluster. I took the inspiration from that banner where we've laid all those little boys together, and I thought that this would work, but I do think that he needs to be to the front and that needs to be at the back like that. And then we can just decorate that up. We can just add a few things to say, you know, to make it look interesting. So I thought to put in you, the 100% boy, bring in the little banner, maybe add the little snapshots here, something like that. We can even take him up just maybe a little bit more. I think like that would work. And slightly off the photograph. You can play around and see. If I put the snapshots there, it gives this something to land on. Got that over there. This can go there. And that's where the picture perfect, I think, will look good running across like that. Right, I think that then creates enough of a cluster to balance this cluster over here. Then I need to add my third cluster, which I thought I would do at the top there. And then I thought to put my memories like that and have the saying my memories documented. And then I'll set this little heart up to make that heart look like part of the cluster for that, like that. And then obviously we've got a little dude there, some dudes over here. We need one over here, and I thought that he could look like he's running behind and over like that, something like that. And then he just needed something, I think, to balance. I think we can just add a little label in over there, something like that. Okay, so I think then that helps that cluster quite nicely. Right, and then I think we could do with, I've got this label over here. I'd like to bring another one in over here, and I thought that we could add this one in over here like that, because it looks a bit bare and it looks like we could do with a little something there. And then we could add that sentiment about a boy like that, right? And then when you look at it like that, I think you can agree with me that we've got all this going on, and that this little corner here looks like it could do with something, because we want to try and draw your eye up and down. And that's where this comes into play. I think we can pop that over there like that. And this one will embellish kind of on the diagonals. So we've got a little goodie down there. We can bring a little goodie up there like that. All right. And we can then add in that number. Remember I said I just wanted to have that number running across something like that. All right, and then it still for me feels like I need to add a little something over here, and that's where the little label comes in. I think it'll look nice over here. Maybe I might shift this piece over a little bit more. We'll see. I think we can get away with this being just a little bit over, something like that. I think that that's going to look better. That will then allow me to put this little label in over there like that, so that the gap there is not too big. Right, so that's already for me starting to come together. I think then we need to add in our little buttons, and I think we could do like that. Maybe we can put the bigger one here with this. Let's see. And we could maybe add 3 little buttons in over here. So I wanted to use the paper buttons along with some real buttons. I think that is a very nice effect. And then we just need to add some more buttons to create that visual triangle. And I think the best place then to put them would be over here like that. Do something that then also helps, by adding the little buttons, helps me create my visual triangle. So there, and there. All right, so there we go. That's kind of where I'm thinking to go with this layout. You can see that by sanding the edges just makes everything pop instead of adding some distress ink. I did go around the white edges of the laser cuts. I did put a little bit of distress ink there just to dirty them up a little bit so that they're not just stark white. It didn't help sanding them because you couldn't really see it, and so that's why I added a little bit of ink to it like that. Right, so I am going to put on some music, put glue on everything, and then I will be back to assemble the page with you. Okay, I will see you in a bit.